Hi Virgo, this is Honeymoth Tarot, and today I'm going to be reading your September full moon reading. So, depending on where you are in the world, the full moon will be happening around the 17th, 18th of September. I would also pay particular attention to this one because it's partial lunar eclipse and it's a super moon, so the energy of that full moon will be a lot more potent. And then also, because the full moon is in Pisces, and because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, that means that there's an emphasis on creativity, imagination, vivid dreams, daydreaming. But yeah, overall, it will be quite a spiritual and intuitive time. Alright, so what does Virgo need to know for the September full moon? So I'm getting there's like a project that you want to get started, or just some sort of like financial endeavour that you want to get off the ground. But for some reason it's not quite manifesting just yet. Maybe that just means that it's not like quite the right time, or there needs to be a bit more preparation. Usually Pentacles energy is about like taking a more kind of practical, realistic approach. So maybe you have like a lot of thoughts and ideas, but there's not necessarily any kind of like action behind them. And we've got the Nine of Swords. Yeah, this is all about overwhelming thoughts. So yeah, maybe there's an idea that you really want to kind of pursue, but instead of kind of seeing, I don't know, the way that I kind of make some sort of analogy for this is like seeing your whole kind of project, whatever the situation is, as like a big brick wall, and rather than seeing like each individual task as a brick, you're kind of looking at the wall as a whole, and it's just really overwhelming you. Okay, so how can Virgo overcome these overwhelming thoughts and kind of take some action? Okay, so that did. Emperor energy, that's Aries energy, so the Aries reading may have something that kind of is helpful for you. So the Emperor is all about like taking control. So I think as difficult as it feels to kind of get this idea like up from the ground, I think if you're able to take control of the situation and kind of slowly take action, it will manifest. Because the Emperor is like a very kind of dominant, assertive energy. Anything else for Virgo for September? Okay, so we've got the Star, which is Aquarian energy. Yeah, I'm kind of like looking at this as you sort of balancing like these kind of little random ideas that you get, and then versus the ideas that you can kind of transform into something bigger. Kind of weeding out which ideas that you want to turn into projects. So maybe make some sort of like priorities list. We've got the Seven of Cups. There's that overwhelm again. Yeah, I think you may be like a very like creative individual, or just somebody that has a lot of ideas, or even just like a lot of options. And with the Seven of Cups, like, even though there's an overwhelming amount of choice, and I think it may be beneficial for you to kind of see this as like a blessing that you have so many options and so many choices presented to you. And you never know, like, multiple ideas may be kind of incorporated into the one final project. You may not have to specifically like hone on to like one thing. But I do also want to say, like, with the Seven of Cups, it can be like a sign of a lot of daydreaming or a lot of fantastical thinking. But I think at this time, like, because I said the Pisces moon, it's ruled by Neptune, because there's like an emphasis on imagination and daydreaming and having like vivid dreams. I think this may be like really beneficial to you. So maybe like keep some sort of like dream journal. And I want to say as well, like, pay attention to the things that you daydream about and the things that really kind of you feel intuitively like nudged towards, because I think with this very dreamy Pisces energy of the full moon, I think following your intuition will be really beneficial at this time. Anything else for Virgo? Virgo for the full moon. Okay, so we've got the Empress. That's really interesting how we've got the Emperor and the Empress together. So the Empress for me is often about self-love, and being so like self-assured that we don't really need validation from others, because we realize that ultimately, like, we are our own best friend because we've been with ourselves for literally our entire lives. I think maybe just because I'm kind of looking at these like two cards of overwhelm is what I would call it. Maybe there's like a tendency towards like negative thinking, or just assuming that things won't pan out the way that you want them to. And maybe even with the Star card, there's like a maybe there's a shyness there, or there's like a reluctancy to shine and show your talents, for fear of, I don't know, perhaps like rejection, what other people will think of you. But I just want to say, like, with the Emperor and the Empress energy, there's like, if you're able to get into this mindset, there is a lot of self-confidence and a lot of I'm just getting this very like anchored stoic energy where like nobody can tell you your self-worth except for you. So if you are able to kind of get more into that mindset and away from this overwhelm, I think that'll be really beneficial. So quickly, I also want to look at this reading from a different kind of storyline perspective, because we've got the Emperor and the Empress, so this very well could be some sort of like relationship reading. A couple that's been like perfectly matched together. Perhaps there's been like talks of having a child with the Page of Pentacles. But there's a lot of kind of like questions about, well, I guess like all of the questions that come with having a child, you know, money, resources, time. And we've got the Queen of Swords. So with regards to the relationship reading, I think this Queen of Swords energy is one of you making a direct decision, at least. Whether that is to have a child or to not have a child. But I think it will be a really healing experience. One of you very well could be an Aquarius, because we've got the Star and then the Queen of Swords, which is air energy. And then if you were relating to the other reading that I was getting, I think this is you making a direct decision of cutting out the ideas that aren't necessarily meant to kind of blossom at this time. And then kind of carefully and logically like picking out the ones that will work for this project. It's a very direct energy. Like, I think this is you being honest with yourself about what's working and what isn't working. Alright, so let me get you guys an oracle card. That came out pretty quick. A new romantic cycle begins. Yes, so very well it could have been a relationship reading that you were resonating with. Libra energy, which is also air. I'm just looking at the scales, and I think with the other kind of storyline that I was getting about you sort of balancing kind of the excess ideas with the ideas that will really kind of help to aid this project that you're working on. Yeah, I think there's definitely an emphasis in balance here. Alright, Virgo, thank you for watching this reading, and I'll see you soon. Bye.